Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Armchair podcast. This is probably the episode that everyone has been waiting for, if you're not an Arsenal fan, to tune in and basically call us bottle jobs. This could be probably one of the most important, I'm not even joking, this genuinely could be one of the most important videos I ever make, aside from controversies and things that are bigger than football, like social issues and stuff in football, in terms of genuinely just like Arsenal Football Club as a whole. This is just so dramatic, but genuinely, I'm being serious. Like, I think this is a huge result. And I think it could have a ripple effect on the rest of the season. Now, at the start of the season, obviously, and during this season so far, I've been super confident. I think every Arsenal fan will tell you this season, and not even Arsenal fans, but other fans of other teams, including City and Liverpool, would say at this point in time, at this moment in time, that Arsenal are going to win the league. Of course, there's been moments where we've doubted it, but today is the first real point in time where I've thought we actually might not do it for the fourth successive season, which would be disastrous. And at that point, it becomes, I don't want to say the S word, but it becomes Spursy. Our history, if we do bottle it for a fourth season in a row, and I believe this is really huge for the football club, it could be catastrophic. We'd probably need to change the manager in Arteta, who's built the football club to such a huge standard. And look, people might be saying, look, it's just one result. Like, this is one result. Excuse me. You're being absolutely crazy. You're being overreactionary. But let's look at this in context, okay? We're now 4 points. There's 4 points in it now. We're only 4 points clear, which is, honestly, that's nothing. It's a loss and a draw. If City string a couple of wins together, they've caught up with us. Not even City, but Villa as well. It's a weird league this season. Anyone could win it. Leicester have won it. Teams have done it before. So I'm looking at City and Villa. And big result for Man United, by the way, just before I get into the Arsenal thing. I know I'm all over the place, but this is a genuine reaction from the heart. So I sound like Liam Payne. Rest in peace. But it is going to be a bit all over the place because, obviously, after the game, I'm a bit emotional. But I'm not going to cry or anything, but I might do if we don't win a trophy at the end of this season. It would be a disaster. I don't even know. Yeah, hats off to Man United. And people are going to say, oh, well, it's just manager boost. Fair play, but they've been brave. In the 2 games they've played against City and Arsenal, they've been brave. They've come out and they've shown some character. And they've shown, to be honest, that old Manchester United DNA. Getting back to Arsenal, what is our DNA? Well, history would tell you that when we won those league titles, that our DNA in the past has been winning. It's been strong mentality, brave, strong players, Vieira, Tony Adams. I actually am not going to put Thierry Henry in that conversation because he was a bit of a bottle job as well with the Champions League final, but he still won a league. And that was our tradition and that was our history. 20 years have gone by and we have won nothing of serious nature. A few Community Shields and a lot of FA Cups, but players have come and gone. The trophies, the upper echelon of football in terms of the Champions League, we've qualified. We've been to the round of 16 the most times of any English football club and not won it once. So my point is that if we do not win a major trophy this season, that would be 21 years without winning a trophy. I genuinely think that it would be absolute disaster. And not just because of the memes and not just because we're going to get bantered for years for being bottlers 4 times in a row. No club in the history of the sport has gone 4 seasons in a row finishing second. I'd rather finish third. I'd rather completely plummet now and just finish 6th than finish second again. Anything but second. Now, realistically, is this an overreaction? Do I think that we're actually going to finish? There is a chance, obviously, I'm saying we're still in a good position. But we could have been in the driving seat. The league could have been over by now. And this is my worry. It's yes, we could recover from this game and we could pull a string of results together, but we are now essentially hoping that Man City will continue to be bad. And what if they're not? What if they don't continue to be bad? Then we are fucked. Because if we go to the Etihad and there's only and they're above us or there's only a few points in it, We are not going to win at the Etihad. Nothing has shown me this season that we are going to win a football game at the Etihad. In every big game this season, we have bottled it. And it comes from the manager. At the end of the day, it does come from the manager. Yes, it's the players as well, but it stems from the manager. So let's get into why do I think this has happened? And what is the cause of this? So my first worry is when we played City at home. That 1-1 draw was not good enough. In fact, there was a period of results at the start of the season where there was all those news articles about Arteta leaving the handbrake on. And at the time, it wasn't a cause for concern because we're at the start of the season. It's early days in the Premier League, and we've just signed Eze and Gyökeres. Players are still bedding in. So we'll take the handbrake off eventually, and Arteta will get it right. We then went on a decent run. Eze came into the team, got that hat-trick against Spurs. Everyone was saying we're going to win the league. Then we play Liverpool at home. Again, he didn't learn his mistakes from the Liverpool game at Anfield, where he was so cautious, and we draw that game 0-0. Then we go to Forest. He doesn't learn from his mistakes then. Still plays a very uninspiring attacking football. We drop points 0-0. Then we go at home to Man United. Okay, we need to keep that 7-point gap. Disappointing result against Liverpool and Forest. We need to win this game. And what does he do again? He doesn't learn from his mistakes, and he plays a very, very safe, boring, bland football that is not going to win us any major honours. In the Champions League, I think we can get away with playing this style of football in terms of keeping it close, and then nicking a goal. We cannot be doing this. And again, that was disproven as well, because against PSG last year in the Champions League, we were cautious, we didn't throw caution to the wind, and we were knocked out. If Arteta continues to play this same brand of boring, safe is the key word, safe football with safe selections and favourites in Ødegaard, and I'm not usually one to single players out, right? But it has got to the point now where I have to single the manager out because he's the main cause for this. But his complete trust and lack of sort of words have lost me, but lack of sort of like openness with some players. Like, for example, Gyökeres, right? He gets benched for this game because he's not been good. Ødegaard hasn't been good for weeks, and he starts this game when Eze has been not great, but he makes one mistake and he's benched. But Ødegaard makes mistakes, or Zubimendi makes a mistake and he's not been benched. He's overplayed Zubimendi. He's played every single Premier League game this season. Why is he not being rotated more? Why is Ødegaard not coming in certain games? He only plays in the cup. He's had about 2 minutes this season. But ultimately, I'm going off track, obviously, in this video. It's all over the place. But what I'm trying to say is we play safe, cautious football and we don't take any risk whatsoever. And it's cost us now. And it's cost us big time because he continues to think that it will be fine playing this brand of football. And it's got to the point now where if he doesn't change it and he doesn't actually take the handbrake off and he doesn't start changing things up in the attack, we're fucked. But not only that, it's also a mentality thing because, let's be honest, today, we're our own worst enemy. There's only one thing from Arsenal. There's only one thing stopping Arsenal from winning the league this year, and that is Arsenal. And it's been the case for the past 3 seasons. We've been good enough to win the league the past 3 seasons. We have been good enough. We've had the team. We've had the players. This is the year we had to do it because we have categorically on paper. There was always a question. Man City probably got a better team. They've got Haaland. We have the best team and the best squad in Europe. So we have to win a trophy this year, or it would be a calamity. It would be a disaster. So, yeah, now I've got all that off my chest, and sorry if some of that didn't even make sense, but I hope you enjoyed it anyway. But basically, as you can see, I'm absolutely fuming, and I'm sure lots of other Arsenal fans are in this same position. Sometimes I'm actually lost for words, because every Arsenal fan is probably thinking right now, surely this cannot be happening again. It can't. It can. But genuinely, like, I would give up. I would give up, I think, at that point. Like, I'm all for supporting my team. But it's got to the point now where it's like, what the fuck? Like, Honestly, like, this is a joke. Like, 3 seasons in a row, really? So, before I get into before I get into the game itself and where I think it went wrong and everything like that, do I think it was all that an overreaction? Or genuinely, like, are we going to bottle it again? And I don't think it is an overreaction, because I think it's a pattern. And it's a pattern that in these big games this season, which is weird because last season, the reason we lost the league, a multitude of reasons, but one of them was we performed really well in the big games. Then in the small games, we dropped lots of points. But this season, we've done the opposite. We've done really well in the small games and really well against the bogey teams, your Villas and your Newcastles. And then we've bottled it against teams that we smashed last season. Chelsea. You know, Chelsea's another one. I forgot about that. 10 men down. We draw that game. It's been a joke against the big teams. And I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what Arteta's doing. We're bottling it. That's what we're doing. We are bottling it. And if we don't pull our fucking fingers out, we are going to get into a position where we're going to the Etihad, only 2 points in front or level or even behind at this point, and we've not won the league again. And then you get knocked out of the Champions League, and then it's looking a bit sus for Arteta. It's not looking good for Arteta. He's done such a good job. And I really hoped that, like, he could be the person to get over the line. And I think also as Arsenal fans, we did get excited. And I think maybe the players got overexcited potentially as well. And we've just hit a patch where, like, we've started to get nervous. And you can see it. You can see it in the stadium. You can see it with the players. It almost looks like the pressure is now started to weigh us down. Some players aren't performing. And the manager's not performing. The manager's kind of lost his head in that game. You know, the changes that he made I thought were weird. Just lumping on 4 players in the 60th minute. He's not done that before all season. I thought we should have stuck to our football and stayed patient and stayed structured, but we didn't, and we conceded 3 goals at home. 3 goals at home against United. Shocking. So we've completely lost our heads. Now, can we recover from this? Can we compose ourselves and think, right, we've all lost our heads, lads. We've lost our heads completely these past 3 games. Let's just rein it in a bit. Let's gain some composure and let's string some winning results together. Let's forget about Man City. Let's forget about the title. Let's forget about trophies. Let's just get back to form and start winning games again. Can we do that? Or is this going to be a start of the roller coaster again? This has to be a blip. This has to be a blip. If we don't win next weekend, we're screwed. I genuinely think we're screwed. Like, this has to be a blip and it has to end now. Because we need to form a cushion by the time we get to the Etihad. Because if not, the problem with Man City and Man City fans and stuff like that, not to disrespect them, but they don't give a fuck. To them, winning a league is like fucking going to the shop and getting a pint of milk. Do you know what I mean? It's like they've done it so many times before. You just go, if they won another league, you go, oh yes, get in there. If we won the league, it'd be like fucking England winning the World Cup. Every man and his fucking dog around North London would be outside, and every fucking plastic armchair fan like me would be getting trained down there to join the parade. It'd be about 1 million people, right? The weight of this 20-year drought and expectation seems to have finally hit the players in January. And yeah, it's just like, I just can't believe it's come this early. Like, I thought we'd have a wobble maybe in March. I thought maybe we could lose at the Etihad and we'd have a wobble later down the line. But to wobble this early on is quite concerning. It is quite concerning. Anyway, where the fuck did it go wrong today? The starting lineup, I think, to play Jesus, I can see why you started him in a way, because Gyökeres hasn't been great. But I thought it was kind of unfair to Gyökeres. I think you have a starting striker. I think you stick with him. And I think he played well at Inter Milan and he got that goal that's boosted his confidence, and then he doesn't start him. Whether it was a tactical thing, I'm not sure. Saka and Trossard is fine. Nketiah, for me, didn't have his best game. I know that he delivered that ball in for us to get the first goal, and it was a good ball. But it seemed that every time he went down that left-hand side, the attack just sort of... He was just too slow. He was too slow to feed the ball into the channels. He didn't really make anything happen. And to be honest, let's be honest, he's a defensive fullback. In my opinion, Miles Lewis-Skelly came into the team under Arteta. He burst onto the scene. He was dynamic. Yes, he's a defensive liability, but this all again comes down to Arteta as a manager and his tactics. When Trent played for Liverpool, why did Liverpool win the league? Trent. Salah as well, but his connection with Salah and Trent was an amazing player. And Klopp and Slot sort of saw that and was like, look, I don't care that he might concede a few goals. He's a massive part of our attack, and it's going to allow us to play better, keep control of the ball, and ultimately be more potent in attack, we're not potent in attack. And part of that is down to our fullbacks. Look, I love Timber, I love Nketiah, but Ben White and Miles Lewis-Skelly are way more dynamic and way better in the final third. And when you have two of the best centre-backs in the world, apparently, in Gabriel and Saliba, who have got amazing recovery pace, why do you then need two centre-backs? Because essentially that's what they are, two centre-backs as full-backs. Why not have Ben White and Lewis-Skelly to bomb forward, make those overlaps, which in turn makes your wingers better, and it creates more chances, and it allows them to get into the box instead of it's going at the minute we play football, the shoehorn football again, horseshoe football, sorry, where it's just back to back, and it cost us again in this game. It cost us big time in this game, playing it way too safe. So we come out. So aside from the starting lineup, it was expected, and to be honest, my point on the starting lineup is Arteta needs to rotate more. We can't keep doing the same things, especially in these big games, and he has to learn from his mistakes. He has to keep changing the lineup. There's no point in starting with Ødegaard, Zubmani and Rice every single week and the same back four if the attacking potency is lacking. He needs to change it up more. He needs to throw Eze in there. He needs to start Madueke more often. He needs to trust his other squad. He needs to trust his squad. It's the best squad in Europe. You need to trust it. You need to rotate. And we need to be more dynamic in the final third. Oftentimes I've wondered when you look at Man City and Liverpool, at times they only play with one six. They play with one defensive-minded midfielder and the other two are creative. You look at Man City, they have Rodri there, then in front they have Cherki or they have Bernardo Silva or they have Reinders. They're more creative. Arsenal, for some reason, we have Rice, Ødegaard and Zubamendi, who, quite frankly, are quite similar. They're obviously different player profiles, but they like to retain possession. They're quite safe in the way they play the balls and play through the lines. We need some more dynamism in there. We signed Eze for over £60 million, and he's hardly played. And Arteta's Arteta's stubbornness with Ødegaard, that he has to play every game because his club captain is ultimately letting us down. I think he deserves to be dropped now. And I think Eze deserves a run, or they deserve to be rotated. But it's the whole team that's the problem. It's the way we play. It's the way we attack. It's been an issue all season and it needs to be fixed. He needs to find a fix. And I think one of those fixes is he needs to experiment and he needs to stop relying on these clean sheets and set pieces, because as you've noticed, if we don't score a set piece, we're fucked. And we scored again, basically 2 set pieces again today. We didn't score from open play. We're shit in open play. Absolutely dog shit in open play. We don't create anything. So we're just lucky at the minute that Man City and Liverpool are really bad, and we're lucky that the league is really strong, because if not, we'd be faltering massively. What else? Yeah, it's just an absolute shit show, to be honest. Basically, this game followed a similar pattern to the other big games we've played so far in the league, where we start really well in terms of controlling the game, but then we don't do anything in the final third to sort of like those key passes and playing it through the middle of the park. We don't do anything in the final third to sort of warrant an open play goal. It just seems to always go down the side, and then we get a corner, and then we take a corner, and if we don't score a corner, we're fucked, basically. So there's no dynamism, and then basically what happens is in these big games, it gets to half-time, and it's usually 0-0. It was 1-1, so basically the same thing, and then we come out in the second half, and then we do the same thing. We do the exact same thing. He doesn't change anything. The moment where I thought Arteta's completely lost his head in this game and today was the fact that, like, instead of playing the football would have been playing in the second half, and he usually doesn't make many changes. The fact that he brought on 4 changes and just chucked them all on, Marino, Gyökeres, Madueke, he put Saka out on the left, which was so strange, Madueke on the right. I don't think he had a fucking clue what he was doing, which was kind of worrying. It was kind of worrying. It was almost like he was panicking, and he panicked big time in this game. So, lack of composure from the players and Arteta. The bigger question I have is, have Arsenal, the manager and the players and the club, have they got the composure to bring this Premier League title home? Or is it going to slip away from our hands again? And if it does slip away from our hands again, what is the repercussions of that? You know, does Arteta go? I think he has to go. So ultimately, like, the reason I think Arsenal fans are so disappointed, like, despite the fact we might not win the league title, is the fact that this whole project would be ultimately like a failure. It's been a great project, but in football you are judged with winning trophies, and if we don't win a trophy with this team, not even an FA Cup, I mean, even that would be a disappointment. You know, who have we got next? I'm not even sure who we've got next, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, like, people are bantering me now. Like, I can't even be asked to open my WhatsApp group. Like, people are calling us bottle jobs. Like, whole of Twitter and everything's going to go crazy. And look, people are right to be reactionary. Like, it's a huge result in the title race. Like, it's huge. It's shocking from us. Anyway, I just keep going on and on and on. Fucking hell, it's just terrible. But yeah, we've got Leeds United away, who are battling relegation. So that's going to be a tough game. So if we get a draw in that game, 4 points, and Man City get a win, 4 points turns into 1 point. And then you're thinking, well, what are you thinking then? Yeah, I don't know. It's I think there needs to be a change. Something needs to change with Arteta, with the players, the mentality, the way we approach games, and it needs to change quickly, because if not, we're going to see another situation in a few months where Man City are lifting the Premier League title and we've given up all hope, which would be a very, yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what would. I don't even know what. I would not even know what to say. I would not know what to say if we bottled it again this year. So, yeah, I don't know. Very disappointing. 3 games in a row now where we've dropped points, and in a title race at this stage of the season. Serious alarm bells are ringing. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what other Arsenal fans think, and other rival fans think. Are we going to finish second again? Please leave a comment below. If you've enjoyed this, please like, please subscribe. You know, I do these videos near enough every week, and we've had a few clips that have gone viral, which have been great. But you know, I do put quite a lot of effort into this. And yeah, obviously I do it for enjoyment, but I would appreciate it if you guys, you know, could show some support. Would be nice. A comment would be nice on the actual YouTube channel. I know people have been great on TikTok and whatnot, but if you could just share the videos, like, subscribe, it'd be much appreciated. Drop a like if you think Arsenal are going to bottle the league again. But yeah, it's complete head loss. If I'm not going to lie, and I think every Arsenal fan would be this. If you're not losing your head now at this point as an Arsenal fan, and you try and do this measured analysis, you know, it's still a long season. That is bullshit. You can't be kidding yourself right now. It's yeah. I mean, I don't know what to say anymore. Anyway, this has been probably shit. But you know, I appreciate you listening. Hopefully, some of it was entertaining. Hopefully, some of it made sense. But yeah, that's my reaction to the game, and that's my reaction to where we're at in the Premier League. Yeah, it's not basically none of this, all this shit at the start of the season about top of the Champions League, it's not going to mean shit at the end of the season if we don't win anything. So I'll leave it with that anyway, and I'll see you next week. Thanks for listening. Please share, like, and subscribe. Cheers. God, that was fucking dog shit.